Excuse me, sir, no leaning on the vase. I love you, man. Have a good day, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Nice to meet you, Mike. Welcome to the Wanamaker building. Welcome, 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 welcome. What's poppin', people? It's Dante. So, as you saw, I'm finishing my daily ritual of culling through my photographs of the day. Today is October 1st, 2024. And yeah, I just finished listening to the beautiful organ. It sounds every day at 5:30 here at the Macy's building. Go Phillies, check it out, we're in Philadelphia. Yeah, this is our City Hall building here in the center of town. And I love coming to this organ and listening to its sound each and every day as a way for me to remain disciplined to stay out until 5:30. When the organ sounds at 5:30, I finish calling through my photos, I go home, I eat, I go to sleep. It's kind of funny, I do enjoy listening to the organ, but it's also becoming this daily ritual of me actually remaining disciplined to stay out and photograph until the day ends. And so yeah, I just always go there and I cull through my photos in public. You know, as a street photographer, yeah, perhaps it's the best place to go through your work, in a public space, right? As we were photographing in public after all. However, I can't get myself to sit down and look at the photos indoors. I don't know, it's just not necessarily something I enjoy doing. So yeah, I find that by doing it in a public space, listening to a beautiful organ sound, yeah, it just makes it more fun. You get to chat with people, just kind of like joke around, whatever. And so yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this new process of me photographing in a stream of becoming. The goal is to continuously create new photos. Ultimately, there's no such thing as good or bad photos. I believe that the best photo is your next photo, and treating the process of making pictures more so like a visual diary of your day, and not necessarily going out there trying to make these crazy epic street shots. It's much more liberating, right? So I'll photograph myself, I'll make portraits of my hands, of my face, I'll do selfies in the mirror, shadow photos, I'll make pictures during my break, during my commute, I'll make photos just outside my window, right? I'll make photos at any time of the day, despite the circumstances. And I think in the past, what was limiting me was photographing at particular times of the day, whether it was during the golden hour, whether I needed to be at a certain location where there's going to be lots of people, events, etc. And now just treating everything much more loosely, right? Where honestly the world is the canvas, right? The street is the ultimate playground for a photographer. And so treating this world as the canvas is unlocking more potential for me, where I look at the details, I look at the architecture, I look at the fleeting moments of people, of course, but I think that light as the medium itself is the liberating thought, that any time I see a nuance or gradual change in light, right, whether it's this ambient light here on my hand, or whether it's the soft light of this cloudy day, the morning sunrise, that reminds me that photography is endless. For you can never make the same photograph twice, right? The way that light changes and ebbs and flows throughout the day, throughout the year, you know, this is what makes photography so incredible. It's the ability for you to use light and wield light and to forever photograph in this stream of becoming, evolving, changing endlessly, where you can stand at the same vantage point at the same particular time of the day every single day and make a photograph of the same thing, but the photograph will never be the same. And so this flow state of production, this stream of becoming, is the most beautiful way, the most glorious way I find to go forward as a street photographer. And so in the past also, I would always think about the image being a standalone single image. However, now with the stream of becoming in mind, I think of the photographs as a flow endlessly each and every day. And if you ever miss a photo, if you ever miss an opportunity, you know, just always know that there's the next day, right? There's another moment out there, right? There's no reason to get caught up in like missing a photo or having a bad day, because the journey and the process of making the work is what gives life meaning. And so I find that detaching from the outcome, the results, the photos, this is really critical. And also, if you think about it, making photos for the sake of making photos is the only way in which you can then evolve and create your own vision or quote unquote style, right? So the more that you photograph and chip away each and every day, the more that your vision will become more clear. And so, yeah, the goal is to just continuously make new photos and to never stop, you know, to evolve and change each and every day. And so having a camera that fits in your front right pocket, like a Ricoh camera, it really does open up endless possibilities, because now you have no excuse, right? Now you can throw the camera in your pocket and you can photograph wherever you may be, right? Where, to be honest with you, having a camera on a neck strap, it does weigh me down, and I had to get rid of it because of that. It seems crazy maybe to others, but to someone like me who really does photograph, you know, every single day, all day, yeah, it does become a burden. Yeah, so because of that, yeah, I'm treating photography entirely differently, applying this new philosophy of the stream of becoming. You can create a new world in a fraction of a second. Your best photo is your next photo. Just enjoy the process. I find that going for long walks throughout the day is ultimately the most blissful way to spend time. I think that when you're on the streets, forget everything you think you know, right? Stop trying to look and stop looking and hunting, right? But to just let life flow towards you, you know? This is, I believe, the best place to be, you know, sort of detached, but also so present. And yeah, it's the most blissful time of my day, right? Just being in the middle of a busy street corner like this here in Philadelphia, you know? It's quite beautiful, the chaos of urban life. And I feel as though, as a photographer in a city, I mean, consider yourself blessed, right? For if you live in an urban city like Philadelphia, or any city for that matter, you know, to have people around, it's a nice thing, right? Just to be around other people, to go out and engage with the world, right? This is, for me, why I love street photography. It's my love for humanity. It's my love for life itself. And yeah, perhaps the photographs that we make, they become a reflection of our lust for life itself, our love for humanity, our love for life. And, you know, when you consider photography as this visual game of problem solving, putting together the foreground, the middle ground, the background, compositional things, you know, sure, you know, anyone can learn that, anyone can do that. However, I believe that we must transcend the basic visual game of photography and remind ourselves of the physical nature of the medium, where we must be an embodied reality in the real world, having experiences on the front lines of life. You know, this is where the photographer must be, close to life itself, both physically and emotionally. And perhaps that we photograph with our intuition, we photograph with our heart, this becomes an authentic representation of our soul and the world around us. And I think that this is the essence and the core of photography. It's photographing life as it is, unposed and candid. And whether or not you interact with a subject, whether or not you go out there and you have an experience with other people and you photograph along the way, your photographs will reflect that lust for life, right? Think of, you know, the experiences you can have in the world, right? Where, you know, if you treat life almost like this video game, right? There's like infinite possibilities in these open world video games, right? You can go out and you can conquer dungeons, you can go and travel to new towns, right? When you approach the world with your camera, the camera then becomes like, you know, in the video game, you get do you want a long sword, a short sword? Like, this is my sword, right? And this is my passport. This is the key that unlocks the doors to the world. And, you know, whether you want to remain and fly on the wall, you want to be just a bystander and you don't want to engage, or whether you want to engage, it doesn't really matter. But I believe that the best photographs are found when you are close to life, when you do engage with the people and the community around you. And I think this is just a long-winded way of saying, you know, a photographer must engage with life in all the nuances in different ways, right? Like, as a street photographer, you don't necessarily need to just be like this bystander. Oh, let me just take a snapshot and move on. Like, say hi to your neighbors, have fun, right? You know, go on an adventure. Like, there's just so much that you can do with a camera, and maybe it's best for us street photographers to break all of the rules, all of the guidelines, all the traditional ways that have been laid out to us, and to create our own approach to this thing, and to use it as a way for us to just simply become close to life itself. I think at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to say. Kind of just getting, you know, losing track of thoughts. But yeah, filming GoPro Mini 720p, 30 FPS, Vibram 5-finger ELX knit version, best shoes in the game. Yeah, I think you gotta think more about the physical nature of this whole thing, right? Where a photographer must be on the streets, a photographer must be standing upright and walking, and so we must strengthen our feet, our legs, our back, our posture, our spine. And yeah, ever since wearing these barefoot shoes, needless to say, I've been increasing my strength. Yeah, maybe you could benefit from them too. I highly suggest them. I feel as though ever since I've started wearing them, I can simply walk endlessly throughout the entirety of the day. 30,000 steps every single day. I never miss my steps, always walking at an average around 15 miles per day. Yeah, this is what street photography it's all about. It's about conquering the world, exploring, going on an adventure, and just marching endlessly, fueling your lust for life through the medium of photography. And yeah, if you ever want to shoot in Philadelphia, 5:30, meet me at the Eagle. Wow, look at the reflection. It's so nice. The clouds. Look at that.